Hey there. The following program is going to be a follow along program for pretty much any population. This is if you're looking for what do I need to do now? I'm feeling pretty good with my specifics, but I really want just a good general workout program, something that's not going to take me forever and a day. So, what we're going to focus on is a push, a pull, a squat, a core, and a hinge. Those are going to be the exercises that I incorporate that you can pick and choose what works for you. But these are all the good movements we need in order to progress our strength. Let's get started. Okay, let's get started. We're going to start with our first squat. So this first part's going to be a warm-up. We're going to do body weight only. So just go as low as you can and as comfortable as you can, making sure you have equal weight through both legs. Exhale on exertion. Squeeze the glutes. And your feet are about hip distance apart. So we're going to do 10 of these before we move on. Getting a little lower through each repetition. Now let's go into that hinge. If you don't feel comfortable performing a hip hinge, make sure you watch the instructional video I have on this as well. So I have mine with my arms up. This isn't necessary, but it's just going to increase my range of motion. I am working on my weight is through my heels. Back is completely flat. Hinging forward. Pressing the glutes back. Again, we're going to do 10 repetitions. Increasing our range of motion as we go. Make sure that you're exhaling on exertion. Focus on your breathing. Okay, let's go into a lateral lunge. Again, we're going to increase as we go. If you notice, I start off with a small range, and then I increase as I go along, working my way down into more range of motion, even reaching for the feet, crossing over. And I'm doing 10 repetitions per side on this exercise. You do what feels comfortable to you as far as reaching, just waking up the inner thigh, outer thigh. Okay, now a couple of shoulder rolls on each side, going through full range of motion backwards. And it's okay to even look back at that arm as well to get a little more motion through the neck. So 4 to 5 repetitions per side. Good. Now I'm going to do a pulling a part of the shoulder blades combined with a chest stretch. So just a couple of seconds in each direction, really pulling those shoulder blades apart and then really pulling down and back for the chest. And just like the shoulders, we're going to do 4 to 5 repetitions of these just to wake up the upper body. And we're getting ready to grab our weights to start the program. To start the program, we're going to do squats. So these are going to be standard squats. You can hold the weights up at the shoulders or down by your sides. Just make sure you're keeping the back straight. So start with whatever weight you feel comfortable with that you can do 10 repetitions. So you'll notice that I do different variations of each exercise. So you'll notice a variation of squats, a different one on the next set we do. We're going to be doing 3 sets of each exercise. So a squat, a hinge, a push, a pull, and a core. So now we're doing a standard hip hinge or an RDL, Romanian deadlift, keeping your back super straight, keeping your shoulder blades back and down and your shoulders pushed back. Head is in line with your body. 10 repetitions. It is not necessary to go past the knees. If you have that flexibility, do so, but it's not necessary. Maintain perfect form. Make this a strong focus. Don't get distracted when you're performing this activity. Make sure that you're really focused on this. And after these 10 repetitions, we are going to go to the floor. Let's put the weights down. And now we're going to do our push. So this time with our push, we're going to use our weights and we're going to go into a chest press. So chest press, we're going to be focused on making sure that our arms are in a comfortable position. I don't quite have them at 90 degrees. They're at about 70 degrees because that's more comfortable for my shoulders. Going through 10 repetitions. Exhale on exertion, and as you're pushing up, you're going to exhale. So along with this, we're going to go into a pullover. So maintain a flat back. Go slowly back through as much range of motion as you can, and then back up. Okay, so after these pullovers, we're going to go into our core exercise. Pullovers are great for your back, great for the core. We're going to do 10 repetitions of these. Keep in mind, you do not have to do 10 repetitions. You do whatever you can. So this is your pull exercise for this round. And after this, we are going to go into our dead bug. So alternating arm and leg. If you need to watch, I do have an instructional video on this. If you need further tips, you want to make sure to keep your back flat and go through as much range of motion as possible. Alternating sides. You can lift your head if you'd like to make it more difficult, but it is not necessary. And after this core exercise, we're going to go back into our standing position. Okay, for this set of squat, this is a close stance squat. It's going to get a little bit more of the abductors. You'll notice with this that you won't be able to get through as much range of motion as you were with a regular squat. However, it is really good for your hip abductors and engages them a little bit more. Make sure you keep your shoulders back and down. And the weights are better in that position with that exercise. Now we're going to be performing the hip hinge, but we're going to do it in a little bit more of a sumo position. So this is going to bring a little bit more of the adductors in, the inner thighs. So again, you want to make sure that your form is really, really good on this exercise. Same thing with the hip hinge. Don't lose focus or just get distracted. Let's go through 10 repetitions. Again, only go to your knees if that is where your flexibility is. And after these 10 repetitions, we're going to go back into our push and pull. Which is going to be a push-up. So in your push-ups, do what push-up feels good for you. Sorry, my assistant is in the way. She is a camera hog. I'm taking these a little bit in a modified position, in a kneeling position. It's easier on my shoulder, but this works. The chest, the triceps, the shoulders, the biceps get a little work, the core and the back. So push-ups are an excellent exercise and a great functional exercise as well. After these 10 repetitions, we are going to go into a plank. So again, this is going to be a 15-second plank. I'm going to do 2 of them. You do what you can. You can go into a kneeling plank if you're more comfortable with that as well. But keep in mind, we're only going to be holding this for 10 to 15 seconds each. So with good form, take your more advanced level as long as you can maintain that form. You should not have back pain when you're performing a plank, and you want to make sure you're in a good straight line. Tighten your quads in order to maintain that position. Okay, let's go for our last round. So this is going to be a back exercise. This is going to be your pull. So I did this in a little bit different order. I had your push and then your core. Now this is your back exercise. You can do this in standing if you like. I chose to do it in kneeling. So what I'm doing is a row combined with a half semicircle to the rear to get the mid back and the rear shoulder. So this is your pull exercise. Doing both movements is 1 repetition, and we're going to do 10 repetitions. Keeping that nice flat back. And then our last set, we are going to be doing a wider squat into a sumo squat. I'm going to have the hands closer to my chest. Some people would call this a plie squat as well. And with this, you can usually get through more range of motion. Again, this is going to really bring in the adductors or the inner thighs. And we're going for 10 repetitions. So how do you advance this program? Increase your weights. You can also increase the repetitions. But this is a good general program that's going to get all of your major muscle groups. All right, weights are going to go down. I'm going to do more of a range of motion hip hinge. So this is optional whether you choose to do it the way I'm doing it. I'm doing 1.5 repetitions. So if you notice, I go down low, come up halfway, go back down, and come all the way up. I'm avoiding arching my back as I come all the way up, but I'm kind of staying in that hamstring stretch for a little bit longer. So 1.5 rep counts as 1, and we're going to do 10 repetitions. And then for our push-pull, we're going to stay standing and bring in a couple of other muscle groups for the upper body before we finish with one of my favorite all-around core exercises. Almost done. Adding in that half repetition makes it a little bit longer. So let's go ahead and grab our weights. Now we're going to do a shoulder raise. This is going to be your push. So we're doing the V raise. This is a scapular movement. It is a raise. It's not a front raise. You're not going directly in front of you. You're on a diagonal. Only coming up to 90 degrees. This is our push. And let's do 10 repetitions. This is probably going to be a lightweight exercise. So definitely under 10 pounds. If you're just getting started, you can start arms only and work up a pound at a time. Then we're going to go into bicep curls. Keeping the elbows plastered to your side, bringing the arms up, going through full range of motion. making sure not to round the shoulders. Let's do 10 repetitions of these. And then my favorite exercise for the core that kind of works a little bit of everything and brings in some balance is a bird dog. Let's go to the floor. Okay, so I do have an instructional video on this. We are going to do 10 repetitions, doing one side at a time, making sure to exhale as you come up, inhale as you come down. The bird dog is such a great exercise. Not only does it work the core, works the back, works the glutes, hamstrings, balance, coordination. All right, let's finish this off. 10 repetitions on the other side. We are almost finished, guys, and we worked all our major muscle groups. My assistant's exhausted just watching. Okay, we are done. You did it.